ivory carvings. So prized as status symbols by a growing middle class in Asia, are born of slaughter in Africa. Africa needs its wildlife alive because it's good business for Africans. Many of the 50 million visitors to Africa each year come to see the continent's unique animals and landscapes. The UN's World Tourism Organization expects double-digit growth for Africa's tourism sector in this decade. But it is an industry under siege. There were more than 1 million elephants in Africa 30 years ago. Today, there are less than half that number. Not long ago, the black rhino was saved by conservation efforts from near extinction due to poaching. But last year in South Africa, home to most of the rhinos, nearly 700 were poached for their horns. This is a raid in Lusaka by the Zambia Wildlife Authority and IFAW. The Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, or CITES, banned the trade in ivory in 1989 after poaching reached devastating levels. That initially pushed back the threat to Africa's elephants, but no longer. Not when ivory sells for at least $1,000 per kilogram. Rhino horn, whose trade was banned in 1977, is worth almost twice its weight in gold. This kind of money makes a lot of people look the other way.
In some states, we know that rogue elements of the military are involved. We know that there's organised crime involved here. So we've got a very difficult situation to confront.
It is an ancient art of intricate beauty, Chinese ivory carving. These have long been objects of desire and status in this region of the world. Even Brian Christie admits,
if you care about elephants, and it gives you a kind of visceral feeling to look on one in the wild, you get that same feeling from the quality of the craftsmanship in this ivory. It's amazing that you can see two sides of such a bloody battle and find beauty on both sides.
IFAW launched a public awareness campaign to change Chinese hearts and minds about carved ivory. According to polls, most Chinese were ignorant of the process of getting elephant tusks.
我们基金会呢曾经做过一个公众意识的调研，那么当时呢就问受访者说：“你知道你消费的这件象牙制品，它的背后是意味着一头大象的死亡吗？”然后当时有大概超过70%的受访者都不知道，他们以为象的牙会自然脱落。 或者说被锯下来以后，象还能活着。
I'd say China is one of the most responsive states we deal with under our convention. They've put in place significant enforcement measures. They've coordinated their efforts domestically, and in fact, the reason we know that China is a main destination is in part based upon the good enforcement effort within China itself.
Kruger National Park covers nearly 20,000 square kilometers and is bearing the brunt of the rhino killings. Last year, the government took its fight to the skies. The Seeker reconnaissance aircraft was donated by the defense firm Paramount.
It will gather intelligence. It will also assist us in terms of dealing with all the other channels of poaching that we might have. So it's less noisy and nimble and quite agile.
We do need all states to work together. The source state, the transit state, and the destination state. This is not saying one state or other is going to resolve this. That whole chain needs to find a way to work together, and that's underway.